Police say he was kidnapped, tortured, and murdered by outlaw motorcycle gangsters. And today, 3 of the 6 people charged in connection with Bobby Huggins' death fought to be released from jail on bail. Fox 12's Caitlin Bolduc shows us the mounds of physical evidence detectives presented in court to keep them all behind bars.
Well, investigators say the defendants are in some way connected to the Gypsy Jokers motorcycle club, and Huggins himself was at one point a high-ranking member. They've been keeping details of this case close to the vest until now, and as a warning, some of the images we're about to show you are quite graphic. A home surveillance camera on Northeast Holiday Street in Portland captures the kidnapping of Robert Huggins from start to finish, including the final blow that knocked him unconscious. A cloud of dust follows. Detectives think that's from his attackers dragging him into their car.
When you watch this video and you know what's going to happen in terms of the kidnapping, and because we know when he was found, it's heart-wrenching to know that he only had minutes left in his life.
The testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
The video is simply a fraction of the overwhelming amount of physical evidence Detective Jim Lawrence presented in a Multnomah County courtroom this morning to keep Huggins' accused killers from bailing out of jail. A revenge killing, he calls it, for breaking the rules of the Gypsy Joker motorcycle club. Investigators believe club president Mark Denclow and vice president Earl Fisher are at the center of this case.
I don't know of a case where this many members of the gang have been brought together for a murder case, and where it involved so many people.
Huggins' body was found beaten, mutilated, and broken in this Clark County field in July of 2015. His killer shot nails through his boots, carved out an X on his body, and knocked out his teeth.
In terms of a lot of the homicides that I've seen, as a result of blunt force, this is absolutely the worst.
After months of investigating, Lawrence says he's uncovered the Gypsy Jokers first turned against Huggins in 2014. Back then, Huggins was the club's sergeant-in-arms or enforcer who also doubled as the club's treasurer. Huggins began stealing money from the club to support a heroin habit.
Any member of the club could assault him on sight because of his past conduct against the club. It is ironic that as a previous enforcer, he would now be the victim of unenforcement that the club had to carry out.
Investigators say things came to a head when members of the club allegedly stole Huggins' car and motorcycle.
That was the salt in the wound that caused him to actually seek out revenge against the club members.
Investigators say Huggins retaliated by going to Mark Denclow's home in Woodburn, where he tied up the club president's girlfriend at gunpoint and then robbed the place.
He did not want her to go to the police, and he did not want to go to the police because he felt this was something that the club needed to take care of.
After that, the hunt was on for Huggins until June 30th of 2015, when police say a Gypsy Joker associate, Tyler Pibenrow, got word from a drug associate, Malachi Watkins, that he'd found him at a home on North Holiday. Investigators say both Pibenrow and Watkins are captured in that home surveillance video as part of the group who kidnapped Huggins that night. The car was spotted again on surveillance cameras hours later at this gas station in Woodland. Lawrence thinks the group brought Huggins here to a nearby property off Northwest Pacific Highway in Woodland, where he was tortured and killed. They found blood at that property, but he says it's still being tested. Investigators say the Suburban used in the crime was found at Ron Thompson's auto detail shop off Southeast Foster. It's no longer in operation there. Inside of the car, detectives say they found Huggins' blood along with a shovel and 2 axes wrapped in a blanket. They believe the car belonged to Kendra Castle. Police say phone records link everyone in the group together as part of a conspiracy to kill Huggins and cover it all up.
A very telling graphic that we've been able to put together that shows between some of our criminal conspirators, they have very little contact except on the day of the kidnapping.
All of it led to the May arrest of these 6 people and the raid at the Gypsy Joker clubhouse in North Portland, a case Lawrence says they are still actively investigating and are still looking for other members they believe to be involved in the conspiracy. Well, that bail hearing will continue tomorrow at 9 a.m. and Judge Silver is expected to make a decision shortly after. Reporting live in downtown Portland, Caitlin Bolduc, Fox 12 Oregon.